Yeah, like you won't
Okay.
take fire damage until the end of your turn. So like
Which
all
like
Cool.
isn't intuitive, but like
Cool.
sure.
Okay,
all
cool.
you putting the fire out is
Sorry.
doing is you locking yourself into this spot and not having the ability to act
understand.
after
Yeah.
I
Fearin.
understand.
Delay is the
Okay.
right call.
Delay.
Um,
Delay.
Bastro moved.
It's Fearin, no?
Fearin. Yep.
I think so, yeah.
I'm a little
With an
shaky.
unconscious,
I'm a little shaky and a little sweaty. I'm sorry.
with an
I was
unconscious,
never worried.
with an unconscious lizard in one gust, Fearon's going to reach out a second gust and scoop up or drag back this monstrosity that is Bastro 5 feet with his. Are both doors open or is one door open?
I think
I imagine both would be open.
Both are open.
I want to make an argument that I can close both because I'm a big gust of wind with one action.
He slurps the wind away, and that closes the doors.
creates a vacuum, yeah.
Yeah, vacuum seal.
I'll let you roll an athletics check for it.
You jerk. You jerk.
How about acrobatics to do it
Yeah.
very nimbly?
Come on.
Very
That
nimbly.
how is that not acrobatics?
That's thievery if I've ever seen it.
Enacting your force against another object will never be acrobatics for me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Swiftly
I
and
know.
carefully. It's just,
I know.
It's just ever so slightly, you know?
Second and third action, I close both doors.
Doors are closed.
I'm on fire.
Uh-huh.
The fireworks have begun
Yeah.
in our courtyard.
Oh yeah. Lots of fireworks out there.
I passed the check with the 17. I am not
Okay.
on fire.
But you still take, before that happens, 11 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Twinkle Toes, did you want to insert yourself in the order here?
Yeah, doors are closed.
Doors are closed.
Doors are closed.
I'm gonna start with actually, you know what? I'm just gonna take a healing potion. What do I have? I've got a few different kinds.
Remember Bastard.
We're on fire.
Yeah.
Not to play your character for you. But like,
Right. I'm gonna run forward and try to put out the fire on Bastro.
That's the homie. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's
He's
really
doomed.
popping off outside of our apartment.
Dude, it's really popping off. I have to roll a 15. Is that what's going on?
I think you just spend the actions to give him a
No,
bonus.
yeah.
right?
You spend the
You
action,
spend the action
it
to
lowers
reduce the
DC.
check.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll spend my first action move, second action help Bastro, third action help Kashak.
And then you take 12 points of fire damage. Go ahead and roll a flat check for me.
Okay. 15 exactly.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, that allows. Wait. Oh, sorry. You can take steps, or an ally can help you, allowing you to attempt an additional flat check before the end of your turn. So, like, do we get one
Okay,
at the
so
top
you
of our
get-
turn,
An immediate one when she takes the action. So both of you
Yeah.
roll a flat check.
or like at the beginning of our turns, but before the end of our turns?
No, it'd be
is the-
on her turn, based
All
on
right,
what
so
that
Bastro,
says.
we're rolling a flat check to defeat the fire
Because
damage.
it says an immediate flat check.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I got in that 20. Yes.
I got a 10, and does this reduce? Yeah, it reduced the DC of the flat check to 10
Does it say that?
for a particularly appropriate type of help.
She was just patting you out?
That's what I heard. yeah.
Smothering them with the cloak on Kashak.
Unfortunately, that is not particularly helpful for
Not a
the
reduction?
magical fire. I'm sorry.
Hero point?
There's a very there are specific things that will.
Yeah, that's fine. I just rolled a 10. If I could get it, I would. Who's up?
Kashak, you're up.
All right. My death save.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a natural 19. So I succeed.
Go
Is
back
that
to
a
tying one?
is that a crit?
No, that's a flat check. It only crits on a 20.
Okay. Dying Un. I take fire damage. I go to dying Du. I roll the flat check to defeat the fire damage. I rolled a 16. I'm chilling.
Still dying, but not on
19.
fire.
I'm chilling.
Bastro, roll a death saving throw.
Oh boy. $15.
Nice.
That's
my
a
God.
good
So you
Down
go
to dying
dying
one.
saving throw.
And not on fire.
Bet.
At this
Simply
point,
could not be more chilling.
we're gonna go out of initiative because you all have hero points. So the worst outcome would be you spending a hero point that you're gonna get back next session. After some indeterminate number of seconds, very indeterminate for Kashak and Bastro, considering the unconscious nature of their brains. They come back to. The sounds of the flames scorching the back of the door on the other side cease. You hear the clink of chain as it retracts back to the ceiling. What do you all do?
Oh, what did we learn?
Are we all healed up and conscious, or at least
No.
like, healed enough to be conscious? Okay.
You have not received any healing whatsoever.
Fearon's gonna
From Bastro.
Fearon's gonna drag Kashak and Bastro like further away, like into the main room. And then he's gonna
hold up their feet as you drag them. That's as much as I can contribute.
he's gonna then dismiss the spell and go back to being normal Fearon.
This is normal, Farron. What do you mean?
Yeah. And he will then a little flower pops out of the tattoo of the rose and sort of hops up onto Veers' shoulders, and then from the flower, onto Fearon's shoulders, from the flower is going to emit a third level 3-action heal. Boom.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
That's cool. Is Twinkle Toes hurt damage? I assume you'd get in the range for that.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that just? It's just a D8 per level, right? So it'd be 3D8.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm the wrong guy.
It's just 3d8, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone gets 16 HP back.
Okay.
Straight chilling.
Never worried, never doubted.
Kashak's scorched lizard skin starts to crackle a little bit as it's healed, and then he sits up.
What were you doing?
Investigating trap. Figured out how it works. You put this, and he holds up the bag, on the farthest chandelier, and then you knock it off.
Yeah, that's what we figured out the first time.
Easy peasy.
I don't think that's something we can use, so let's just not do that again.
Of course, it's something we can use. And he starts to tie a rope around the bag.
How about we use something else rather than that really expensive bag of holding?
That could be a last resort, for sure.
It's just a security measure in case they breach. I'm thinking we could tie this rope here. If we leave it somewhere that I could pull it, or my magical hand might be able to move the rope or something. Activate the trap. If we get enough people into this room thinking they finally got Jonas, we could activate the trap and knock them all out. It's a last line, sure, but a weapon this powerful and we're not going to use it, that feels silly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't feel comfortable in here with it, so I'll let you decide how you want to handle that. How about?
He like also unclasps the cloak and gives it back to you and kind of like chuckles, like
It's
a
it's singed around the edges.
lot of fucking good that thing did me.
That was rough, buddy.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Mage hand would serve the purpose.
Astro will Mage Hand.
So you can use Mage Hand to put the bag back.
Right.
Kashak will tie a rope to it. He'll ask you to tie the rope. How do I want to do this?
I mean, we just tie the rope to our perp, right? And then if he gets moved, anyone in that room gets chandeliered.
You're making a trap, so you want it to be innocuous. You don't want it to be. You know what? I can always just shoot the bag.
I
Yeah.
can always just Mage Hand it too.
Well, I'm thinking about like if you're not there.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you and I should be the top two guarding this guy, and then
I think that's
Twinkletoes
right.
and
That was
Fearon
planned anyway.
I think
is in
that's
charge of perimeter watch. I think that's
Right,
a
so-
perfect plan.
So Bastard's gonna use Mage Hand to put the bag back in the perch. We're loading the trap. We know now what to do if enough stuff goes wrong. So I mean, we're probably gonna get knocked unconscious, and then they're gonna break in and take the guy anyway. So what does it matter? But like that's
Just make it really hard for them.
that's negative thinking. That's what they call that.
Farron, do you
That
go
is.
back to setting the alarm?
Well,
While
so I was
they're-
going to ask about that. Did I lose the spell? I actually don't know what happened.
Yeah,
with
I
that.
don't know. I've never run into that situation before.
You think he could just restart, like start up where he left?
Yeah,
off?
I don't think you lose it. Normally, it's very specific when you lose a spell. So
They just don't really anticipate 10-minute castings being interrupted.
Yeah.
Complete the casting. What an interesting esoteric question we've run into. Casting spells. Archives of Nethys is doing its Sunday slowdown.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
It's us mostly.
Almost
Yeah,
entirely.
the problem is when
actually.
all 5 of us get on Archives at the same time,
Yeah, what
it
if I
overloads
don't?
the.
What if I don't double dip here?
Sometimes I've got to text the dev and be like, "Hey, can you stop beta testing? I need to use this." And he's like, "Sure, take the server."
I think it's. I'm sure it'll be up to like your call.
Some abilities and spells can be disrupted.
If combat breaks out while you're casting a long casting spell, your spell is disrupted. If a spell is disrupted, the spell immediately ends. No.
No, that's a disrupted
Yeah, that's
while you're sustaining it after you've already cast it. Disrupting actions. You still
No, but
use
see-
the actions or reactions you've committed, and you still expend any costs, but the action's effect don't occur.
That kind of sounds like I lose the spell.
Kind of sounds like you lose the spell.
Like this is- yeah.
For instance, if you begin to cast a spell activity requiring 3 actions and the first action was disrupted, you lose all 3 actions that you committed to that activity.
Yeah. I think I
Dang,
lose
It
the
doesn't sound like
spell.
you lose the slot.
The GM
me.
decides
Sounds
what
like-
effects a disruption causes beyond simply negating the effect that would have occurred from the disrupted action. For instance, a leap disrupted midway wouldn't transport you back to the start of the jump. And a disrupted item hand off might cause the item to fall to the ground instead of staying in the hand of the creature who was trying to give it away. So I would say you probably don't lose the spell slot.
Each prepared spell is expended after a single casting.
Yeah.
You do not complete a casting. It's not after. And this game is very specific about when you do lose spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't go off, but it's because
you would need
I
to-
haven't cast the spell
Right.
yet.
You just gotta
So-
restart. You just gotta start over.
Like
Yeah. Okay.
it essentially represents you like beginning the chanting, setting up the wire,
Right.
setting
Right.
up everything.
Right.
So I would say you would still need to restart the ritual of the full
I mean,
10
that's
minute
fine.
cast, but
That's
you don't
fine.
lose
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
slot in and of itself.
Yeah, in this situation, no stress there, but definitely dicey.
Yeah, just really good timing for an interrupted spell.
Who's idea
Fearon
was
doesn't want to
that?
go back to doing that because he's at 50% HP, so he wants
Heal
some
up.
healing first.
I'm at
Yeah,
0%.
So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and end our stream there. We'll come back fully rested and healed if they make it that far next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Apologies about any interruptions that you may have experienced during your watching. I unfortunately don't know what that was caused by, but I'll try to figure it out, and hopefully next week will be better.
Fireworks.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you again next time.
Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.